Well, it's June 11th. We are kind of starting our second year of our food forest. We've had a lot of water this year. A lot. It's great. We had a lot of rain, we had a lot of snow this winter, and everything is kind of taking off, especially the weeds, of course. But I want to show you kind of our plan. Over on this side, you can see some fruit trees. We planted apple, pear, peach trees, and then some other non-food trees. Over here, we had a lot to start with, just what was naturally growing on the land, which was nice. But not all of it's edible, but a lot of it is we're able to use for medicinal herbs. So this is goldenrod coming up here, and I was able to make some tincture and salve last year using that. We have horsetail. Here's another one of our fruit trees that we just planted this one this year, so we don't know how successful it will be yet. But back in here, most of this is edible herbs. So we have chives and yarrow. I've got an elderberry, so the low level of our food forest is mostly herbs in this section. We have parsley and dill, thyme, lemon thyme. I tried growing basil. I have been unsuccessful growing basil ever. So we'll keep trying on that. I've got rosemary, and then we have some flowers. I've got columbine and echinacea. There's some cilantro. This is a buffalo berry, maybe some kind of berry, I can't remember. And some things, I don't remember what they are. Here's another one of our fruit trees that we planted just this year. Oh, this is one of my mints, I think. But everything's kind of overgrown. This is the part I still have to learn how to do is, what about a ton of invasive weeds? So some things we've just planted, some things are coming back from before, and some things we just lost. Here's some salvia. Quite a few things, actually. But I tried planting a few things last fall in my hugelkulturs. Can't remember, there's a few different kinds of berry bushes that we planted. But to start with, we have these willows growing here, and we've took some of them out, but left quite a few of them. Also, we have lots of currant bushes that we left. We tried to leave all of those. Anyway, my hugelkulturs, I planted some, just some fruit pits and things that I just wanted to experiment and see if they would come up. And I planted some wildflowers, but I planted onions. So I planted these onions clear last October, probably, maybe even September, but probably October. And I didn't ever see them coming up, but they are finally coming up clear. We're almost in the middle of June. I mean, we had snow on the ground until, a couple weeks ago almost. And so we have a very short growing season, which is proving to be a challenge. But then this year we planted some more onions and some garlic, and they're coming up nicely. We planted potatoes, which we've never planted potatoes before. And I don't know, I think they froze. They are looking dead. They look like when something freezes. So, I don't know, I thought we were done freezing, but we were consistently at about 36 degrees for several nights. And then we actually had to leave town for 5 days, and I don't know what happened then. So a lot of things don't look so good. We planted some pecan trees, some chestnut. They look like they're having a hard time. This is a non-food tree. I think it's a corkscrew willow. I can't remember what we planted here, but I better water it. We lost several pine trees. I know they're really hard to get established. And then we have some pine trees up here that the deer were having such a hard winter. It was so long of a winter, and it snowed early and snowed almost every day for months. Like, we had a really long, cold winter, and they just needed some browse that they could reach, and they got 3 of our pine trees. But I think those might be able to survive, those 2. This one, not so much. But you never know. It's got some good green branches down on the bottom. So I'm hoping. And then today, hopefully, we're going to start planting our actual, this is actually the magical day. I made this June 10th through the 15th, where it supposedly doesn't freeze here anymore. And so you can actually plant your things outside. We took these cuttings off of another tree in our yard and just stuck the posts in the ground, stuck the whole branch in the ground, because we were told you could do that. And that was earlier this spring, before anything started leafing out. They're really pretty right now, but the true test is if they'll form roots and actually grow into a tree. And if they would, that would be excellent, because I'm trying to make a hammock grove back here, like a hammock meadow. I pulled a willow out of here, and I've tried several times to plant wildflowers. I just can't keep it wet enough, but maybe this year will be better.